model. So it's going to go up, down. You have to see the map. And then it's going to be a 3D model, but then we also have this token that allows us to trade across chains with it. And then it can swap into the other,
Right.
you know, into
Like,
Solana as well.
have you looked at, like, we talked about this, like any to any
Yeah,
does. They have the same token on all their chains.
yeah,
And so whenever you make a swap, it swaps into that token paper, and then it burns that paper on one side and then buys it
correct.
on the other.
Correct. And then as long as you're on that other chain and you have a liquidity pool with paper and BNB, you can change your paper that you just brought from Sol, and now you have BNB, and you didn't have to use a bridge or anything. And that's exactly what I'm creating here, 100%.
he's
No, he reread it. He
he's
reread it and was like, "Oh shit, I see what you're saying." I said, "Oh, but he's charging the fees because Solana, you can't really get fees any other way, so it makes sense to have a bridge." Um, but you can do the same thing with that token. The token that you allow people to use doesn't have to just be for your community. It can be an open edge token that's literally just sitting at the edge of the bridge. And that's what I was going to do. So I would just have Trend token. There'd be a pool right there with Trend from Binance and Trend from Solana that you can trade in and out of and go right there to Solana or to wherever. And then there would be, on the other side, a Pulse, the Pulse one with Pulse and Solana, and then also Pulse and BNB, or the Pulse and Pulse Binance, and then the Binance side would be Binance and Pulse, and then Binance and Solana. So you could literally go in and out of all three of just those three chains easily, and then all you do after that is continue to mint. Once you send it, you can send one token to fucking the base chain, right? Just one, and then mint value, and then literally send that token back across and mint it back
mm,
into send it and literally mint it into Sol. So you're not really stealing anything from anybody. You're just bringing your token's value back across. You had to use real money to buy the Sol, but you're just able to move it across in a
yeah, they
method
have
that
to set up a certain like the problem with any to any right now is I think you're limited to like $600 transactions, so it doesn't work for
any to
whales.
any.
Like they
Hold on. Are you talking about like
it's
just if I
any to
bought? Well,
yeah,
it's
any
not.
to any.io. That's they
Hmm.
call it. They tell people it's a bridge. Like when people ask for a bridge, um,
Oh, well,
that's what
well,
gets
this way.
rep.
I mean, I've seen them. I've seen these guys. I mean, I'm about to test it, but I've seen them do like hundreds of thousands of tokens for tokens because that's just the way that it's set up inside the smart contract itself. Um, so if I created token A, or like look at Die Hard, right? Die Hard did it. Die Hard swaps between hard, this token called the Die Hard, and then hard token, right? And as it's doing that, the hard token is helping push up the value a little bit. But yeah, I would have to see. It's been a while since I've messed with it, but that's why I'm going to be doing the same
Well, the
mechanic
thing is like
to build it.
they have to keep the value the same on all the chains. So I think that's like where the limitation comes in. Like because the once the pools get big enough on each chain, I think I don't know. I'll have to look at the numbers again.
Right.
But like
Yeah, because
I'm pretty sure.
that's why I want to get it started because I want to see exactly what it does and what I'm able to do. Because the idea of the stablecoin, I mean, I already have it built. I mean, it's literally a representation copy of DAI. I just called it something DAI. It's been sitting there the whole time, um, just waiting for me to implement it. And I just have to start it. As long as I start it we're 50x away, it should work. Um,
Oh, next week. 50x
and
away is next week.
and then yeah, 100%. Then I was going to launch the stablecoin tonight because I was gonna have to launch the other token with it just to see if it would work. And that's how they did everything. I mean, so I mean, if I'm figuring out, I mean, if it's Richard and them, could be fucking someone we fucking know. Um, Either way, it's still benevolent and it's there's still value moving. But
You know why people think there's something's gonna happen today? Maybe because you from USA. I think you have an eclipse in USA today or tomorrow, something like this. I heard.
we have a
Yeah, it
what?
I
starts
cannot
in
see it.
like
where I'm from,
It's a
there's no. I will not be able to see the eclipse, but I think for you, the people who live in Canada or USA, I think you can see it. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna start like early afternoon for us. It's gonna be like let's see, like 15, 16 hours from now is when it's gonna
What are
start
we
down
getting?
in Texas, and then it's gonna cross. It's gonna take like 2 hours to cross all the way up to Canada, and
What the fuck is happening?
yeah,
What did I miss?
there's a
So maybe
big
that's the.
yeah, there's a shit ton of conspiracy going on around it. It's really weird how the media has hyped it all up, and
Okay.
because um, like even a bunch of the religious people and YouTube channels are all on it, like because it's forming an X. There's this all this crazy conspiracy about it, but so a lot of people think that they're just using that for like to create a bunch of drama and
Yeah,
hype
more
or
division.
maybe possible
Yeah.
false flags. But like, because most of these areas where it's crossing have declared states of emergency because of the influx of people. Like, there's a one map I saw that it was fascinating. Like, of all the Airbnbs in the
Bro.
country, every single one of them in the path is booked. Every single one of
So
there's
like
this mass influx of people
bro,
going
I
to the
was at the
path of
border,
this eclipse.
you know, going to the
It's
pass
starting
of the
at
eclipse,
Eagles
right?
Pass, bro. It's
Correct.
starting at Eagles
And that's
Pass.
bro. It's crazy because I was sitting. I worked right across the street from the border for a while. I was like, for there for 2 weeks. I've never seen so much traffic there in my entire life. So they're all going to watch and track this eclipse.
Yeah, and so there's going to be all these people in this tight little band, and so they're like, oh, all the gas stations will be empty. There won't be any food on the shelves. There'll be all these people
Oh,
like
good
overdosing
God.
on drugs to like heighten their experience, and there'll be
Jesus
all
Christ.
this madness. Yeah,
They
it's
forget
so,
that people actually they forget that people actually have real jobs.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's
that's why
well,
maybe some people in the community think like, oh, Richard, or I don't know, you say something
well,
before
no,
something
but
is gonna happen
Richard's
in the
case tomorrow
PEI
too.
ecosystem. Oh, okay,
Well,
okay.
no, it's not just that though, I think,
Oh,
but like there's so
I
many
think
things happening like
that's
tomorrow
that's
of
why
like
Richard would pay for it. Like Richard would definitely use that to his advantage.